in the night, we will be together. I will hold you tight to me.
Hello my viewers, my fans all over the world. Welcome to my page, Timo Starboy Channel Blog. We are streaming on YouTube and Facebook. If you are first time in joining this our program, please subscribe and follow us up. Thank you and God will bless you. And now we want to talk about Yoruba Nation. Yoruba Nation la fẹ́ sọ nípa ẹ̀. Wọ́n ti sọ di iṣu atayanyan gẹ́gẹ́ bá ṣe ń sọ fún yín. The way we are explaining to you, it seems that a lot of people they don't understand. Wọ́n ti sọ gbogbo ẹ̀ di iṣu atayanyan, especially all these our leaders, àwọn tó jẹ́ olórí wa, wọn ò fẹ́ ká gbà á torí ariwo restructuring. They are just, I don't know what they want to restructuring in Nigeria. I don't know, and I don't know for sure. All I know and all I believe is that these people, so-called leadership in Yoruba land, they are fighting for their own pocket and for their own selfish interests. I will play you some video so that it will enlighten you more on what we are talking about here. Recently, you see some indigenous of Yoruba land. They came out, they want to fight for their freedom, but all these leaders, they are condemning them. They say, no, that is not the way. Okay, they should tell us which way they will liberate their people, which way they will fight for their freedom. All they are singing is restructuring, and people are fed up. They are tired. They say, no, we don't want restructuring. Restructuring is too late, because at this junction, Nigeria, it has no destination. In fact, it doesn't have any destiny at all. So people are tired. They are fed up. They say they want to part away. They just want to part away and take their own fatherland back. But the Afenifere group, the leader of Yoruba indigene, they are saying no. You know, they are tackling them and they are opposing them. They say no, they will never take Yoruba land. So I keep wondering where these people come from. And how did you get here? How did we get to this point? Because if you ask me, I don't have answer to that. I really don't have answer to that. You know, I've been saying this on my program that this so-called leadership in Yoruba land, they don't want anything good for Yoruba land. So let me play you the video so that you will know what we are talking about here. You know, I always play you the video just to enlighten you. So let's see. Let's watch and let's watch together, and you can pick your point from here, and we'll know the way forward. Okay, let me find it. It's Arise News. Please listen.
The police in Oyo State have arrested 21 suspects who are the alleged masterminds of the attack last weekend on the state government secretariat in Agodi by a group of Yoruba Nation separatists. Commissioner of Police in Oyo State,
Yoruba land is what they are talking about.
At a briefing in Ibadan, urged parents to prevail on their words against being used as agents of instability. Our correspondent, Ulutayo Famous School, has more.
You see,
these are the arrested 21 suspects.
They are parading those suspects, and they are all Yoruba indigenous
of the Oyo State seat of power, housing the governor's office and the State House of Assembly. Armed and clothed in military camouflage, these agitators allegedly hoisted their flag, Yoruba Nation flag, in place of the Nigerian flag at the said location, an action that has sent shockwaves across the nation.
On Saturday 13th April 2024 at about 0855 hours, information was received that some men dressed in military-like camouflage, armed with pump-action semi-automatic rifles riding on motorcycles, were sighted moving from Olomi area into the main city of Ibadan. At about 0915 hours, the hoodlums, later known as Yoruba Nation Agitation Group, were trailed to the state secretariat spreading from the flyover in the front of the secretariat to within the premises of the governor's office and hoisted their flag at the House of Assembly, proclaiming the creation of a democratic republic of the Yoruba.
The police describes last Saturday's invasion as a security breach while urging parents and guardians to warn their wards against being used by unpatriotic individuals to promote anarchy in the land.
While declaring this act as criminal, unpatriotic, and a clear case of treasonable felony and terrorism, to be met with adequate sanctions through purposeful prosecutions, the command reassures the good people of Oyo State that it remains solidly unwavering to the protection of their lives and property as constitutionally required by the laws of the land.
A summary of recorded arms from the suspects include one English pump action, 2 locally made bioguns, 2 security jackets.
This is what they seized from the
among other items.
Yoruba
Some of the suspects spoke with Arise News on the allegations.
This is what they seized from the people they called Professor.
On that Saturday,
From the people they called raiders. They said they are fighting for their freedom and they kidnapped them.
Please do not say what we did not do.
I call this one
We did
kidnap
not go with any ammunition.
because they are fighting for their land.
Any weapon, please, that's not to be corrected. We did not go there. All this uniform you see me wearing, they just gave it to me here now. They just gave it to me here now. The police just gave it to me now, by force, by force. It was not my
we saw some videos on that day.
Very much, Prof. Well, very quickly.
This
When
is it.
the incident on April 13 occurred,
Professor Banji Akintoye. Sorry, guys.
Anytime you type or text.
persons led by Mrs. Modupe Onitiri Abiola,
Professor Banji
tried to take
Akintoye,
over
the
the
leader
government
of
secretariat in
Yoruba
Ibadan, and
Nation.
they were overpowered eventually by state authorities.
So let's hear what
Mrs.
Papa is going to talk
Onitiri
about.
Abiola having made a statement declaring the Democratic Republic of Nigeria, of Yoruba land, of Oodua, as a sovereign nation. You reacted. You said, you were not aware of it and that these were careless people. Chief Sunday Igboho also reacted and said that these were just a bunch of insane people trying to do what they were not sent to do. However, Prof, I recall that you led the struggle for self-determination of the Yorubas. And now you condemn the splinter group called Uminira Yoruba. What is the difference between the bigger ideological movement that you lead and, the one led by Mrs. Modupe Onitiri Abiola? Will it just be that the difference is just method? Isn't the idea the same?
Well, they are not the same. We started a movement for the liberation of the Yoruba nation from Nigeria under existing laws
Please
of the
listen, guys.
international community.
Listen to this video. You might pick one or
People
two things
don't
there.
seem to recognize that. There is a law. The United Nations Declaration of the Rights of Indigenous Peoples. I mean, it's every nation that wants to separate from the country that they belong to now to do so. But you have to do it peacefully. That's a provision. You cannot say because you want self-determination for your nation out of a country, you want to destabilize the country, you want to break down the peace of the country, you want to attack the laws of the country. No, that's not allowed. The movement that I lead is an intellectually sophisticated movement, disciplined, and no member, not a single person in the entire movement, and we are in the millions all over the world. We are in the millions. Not a single one of us will do what Mrs. Abiola did. Onitiri did. Not a single one of us. She and her people were entirely on their own. They are not part of us and we are not part of them in any way. You cannot say because you want self-determination for your nation out of a country, you want to destabilize the country, you want to break down the peace of the country, you want to attack the laws of the country. No, that's not allowed. The movement that I lead is an intellectually sophisticated movement, disciplined, and no member, not a single person in the entire movement, and we are in the millions all over the world. We are in the millions. Not a single one of us will do what Mrs. Abiola did, what Onitiri did. Not a single one of us. She and her people were entirely on their own. They are not part of us and we are not part of them in any way.
You see, Yoruba nation have been divided. Yoruba nation have been having segment. They have been having what called fashion. They've been having fashion on this matter. So many fashion. So it has come to a joke that we don't know which one, you know, because when we started, everybody united in a one single room, you know, we sing the same song, we voice out in the same way, but now everything has been parted, everything has been divided, so everything has been scattered. And as far as I know, I don't know, maybe this Yoruba nation will come to pass very soon, because it's a long way to go. It's a long way to trek. It's a long, long way to dream about. Even if we're going to take it, it's going to take us a long journey. So, as they've been segmented the Yoruba nation, you know, they've been having many factions on it. So we are just saying that in order to bring out the Yoruba nation to come to pass, we need to unite. Let's unite ourselves, because we call ourselves Yoruba indigenous. We don't need any separation. We don't need any factions. We don't need anything to destabilize us. I'm just calling for peace. If it is a fault of Mrs. Dupe Onitiri, come back to your senses, come back to the right junction, and if it is other way too, you know, they should come back to the junction where we tangle the bond. So we are calling for peace in order to have the dream of a Yoruba nation. So I will play more of this video so you can listen. Let's listen to
Our struggle for self-determination has been pursued peacefully.
Peacefully
we started
is
in
what we want.
2019 and this is 2024.
Peacefully.
That's roughly 5 years now. Slightly
Peaceful,
under 5 years.
in harmony
and
and
we
love
have no record
is what
of
we
violence.
want. We don't want any scatter.
In the year 2021, in the middle of year 2021, we launched a number of rallies, public rallies. The first one was in Ibadan, and it was very large. About 1.2 million people were present in that rally. And we thought, oh, we had done well. But then we moved to Abeokuta, and people in Abeokuta were
a lot of
much
series of
larger
rally around the whole state.
We went to Shogbo, and from
but I
there
don't know
went
what
to
come
Akure,
up to this mess. How do we find ourselves in this junction?
In Ado-Ekiti,
that's the question we need to ask ourselves.
The largest ever. About 3.1 million people clogged the streets of Ado-Ekiti for the whole day.
It's true.
And in all of these mammoth rallies, nobody misbehaved. Nobody behaved in an unruly or unlawful way. The police didn't have to caution anybody. The police did not arrest anybody. Nobody was wounded in any way. It was a happy rally.
Well, Prof.
Young people, educated young people, clamoring for their own country separate from Nigeria. That's entirely lawful.
Well, Prof, there is a
Entirely
report.
under the law.
Prof, there is a report in the paper.
And so nobody was arrested. And nobody can be arrested in such circumstances.
Well, Prof, there's a story in the papers today.
That's who we are.
Well, Prof, there is a story in the papers today saying that you, as a leader of the Yoruba self-determination movement, you have now written to President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to say that Yorubas would like to break away from Nigeria through negotiations. Do you think that President Tinubu will allow his government to sit at a table with some Yoruba people saying they want to break away from Nigeria when Section 2 of the Constitution says that Nigeria is indissoluble and indivisible?
No, it doesn't say that. You are lying. The same constitution that wrote that said that we can demand for our right. We can go on a separate way after 100 years. And 100 years have lapsed.
That's what the Constitution of Nigeria says. But the law of Nigeria also, part of the law of Nigeria says that self-determination is a legitimate right.
Yes, that's right.
Well, because when the United Nations passed the declaration, Nigeria was a signatory to it.
Exactly.
Nigeria brought the law, that declaration, to the National Assembly.
That is true.
The National Assembly approved it, and the President of Nigeria signed it. That made it part of the law of Nigeria.
Exactly.
The same thing with the Africa Charter of
that is true.
Of peoples of human
it's true,
and
nothing but
rights.
the truth. We have right
the President
to
of Nigeria
depart
brought it to Nigeria.
after 100 years.
Assembly. The National Assembly
After 100 years
then
of amalgamation,
that makes it a part of the law of Nigeria.
Yeah.
And courts in Nigeria have made the statement that fighting for self-determination is not
it's
unlawful
legitimate.
in Nigeria.
Yeah.
So
It's true.
We are not doing anything unlawful.
Yes, sir.
And we have no reason to want to stop it.
Yes, sir. Correct me if I'm wrong. The same Nigerian constitution says that even when we sign international covenants and conventions, it becomes law in Nigeria when it is domesticated. Now, you are an Awoist. You were part of the Awo movement and all of that. Awo, the late sage, wanted self-determination in the constitution, 1916, 1963. It never succeeded. And the Nigerian constitution does not allow anybody to say they want to break away from any part of Nigeria. So I don't know. I mean, you are the teacher of history.
The laws of Nigeria allows individual Nigerians or groups of Nigerians to advocate for self-determination for their people.
Yoruba nation people,
that cannot be
Yoruba nation
contradicted.
indigenous, hear this point.
Nigeria
This is the hidden point, you know, that people they don't know.
Advocate for the
This
self-determination
is the hidden
of their people.
that they don't know in the constitution of Nigeria.
That's the law.
So that is the law.
That's why when we went on,
That is the law.
went on rallies and so on, nobody could arrest any one of our of those boys.
It's a law. It's not against the
because they
law.
were acting entirely lawfully.
Yes.
Okay, Prof.
No, listen, there is in this kind of situation after the folly and the criminal folly by Onitiri and the others, there is a natural reaction. People are now saying that Nigeria are now saying things that are really not true about Nigeria.
Share our program.
The laws of Nigeria allow Nigerians to
around.
fight for the self-determination of their
That's the
people
way.
peacefully.
That's the only way you can support us.
And Yoruba people who are fighting peacefully for the self-determination of the Yoruba nation from Nigeria are doing it absolutely lawfully.
Yes.
Do you have any expectation that President Tinubu will sit down and negotiate for the Yorubas to leave Nigeria?
This is not negotiable. We take it.
That is the business of the president. He will do what he
Exactly.
thinks is good for the country. We will do what we think is good for our own nation from Nigeria.
Exactly. No lie,
And
no
nobody
lie.
is disputing the fact that we Yoruba are being destroyed in Nigeria.
No lie about
Last
that.
night,